but I forgot to brush my teeth because I've been watching so much Trucker John show. Hey, I just want to tell everyone, make sure you watch Trucker John channel on YouTube. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, he goes live. Have you heard about this Trucker John? He's on YouTube. He's got the Trucker John live stream going on, and you know what, man? I think it's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool.
The Trucker John channel on YouTube is what we watch. Yes, you must watch this show. It's every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. in the Pacific time. I suggest you watch it. You don't want to defy me. Believe me. Oh my gosh! Trucker John's gonna be coming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. By golly, that's at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, it's a Trucker John. Yeah, you. Oh my goodness gracious! Yes, sir. I'm gonna watch that Trucker John. Yeah. Hey, maybe you should be checking out the Trucker John show over there on the YouTube. He goes live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Trucker John is so funny. Yeah, he does live stream Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m.
Hey, I don't know about this one. Just watch the Trucker John show. Live stream Tuesday, Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Just, yeah, I don't know about this one.
Hello there. I'm here to talk to you about the Trucker John channel. It's on YouTube, And he likes to do these live streams. I don't know what's gotten into him, but I got a funny hat, I got a funny hat, a funny hat. I'm afraid this is what happens when you get a flat tire and you're waiting for the service truck to come out and fix your tire. You go on Snapchat and you can do all these filters and all these funny voices, and you know, it's just what you do, I guess.
Yeah, I watch the Trucker John channel quite frequently, but I really don't want anyone to know.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Trucker John.
All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Let's get that straightened out. I am alive. Okay, so thanks, everybody. It's 9:15 in the a.m. here, Pacific time zone in Las Vegas. We have a current temperature of, I believe, 60 degrees. We're supposed to hit a high of 77. So things are warming back up a little bit. So we got some people in the chat. Thanks for being here. First in was Jackie, looks like. Stephanie B2's here. There's Jolie. I see Fancy. Let's see. Fancy's here. Midas Kevin's here. Good to see you. We got Midas Kevin. Yeah, Midas Kevin. MJ Daniels here. Good morning to you. Just looking down the list real quick. Bicycle Mike. Everyone's worst neighbor. Everyone's worst nightmare. And maybe worst neighbor too. Yeah, go for it, man. Let's see. 72. Are you just going to go through all your characters, or are you going to do something live? Nope. Back to the characters. This is a character. Stephanie, oh no, his face got erased. Oh yeah. Is that what that was? Jupiter Judy's here, morning truckers, truckies, or trucklers, or whatever we are. Robert Perez, top of the morning to you and all truckers. Well, back at you, Robert Perez. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Bicycle Mike is an apparition. Hey, Keith Polite is here. How was the eclipse in Las Vegas? I wouldn't know because I didn't leave the apartment until I left to go do my walk, which was at 8 o'clock at night or something. I was just being a lazy bum, I guess, yesterday. And then we'll talk about that walk in a minute. Let's see. WW's here. Going to be 63. He'll take it. All right. Everyone's here. Everyone is accounted for. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share for me. We're up 18 thumbs ups. Let's get to 20. So I don't know. Some of you guys that are here in the chat, you were watching the Las Vegas walk last night, and some of you guys are probably aware of. I've been trying to do this thing. I thought it'd be a great idea. I thought okay, I'm going to do 10,000 steps a day for 30 days along the Las Vegas Strip. And I really thought, okay, April 1st, I'm going to start it, boom, bam, 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 I'll be done by the 30th. Well, I forgot to take into account, I guess, that I'm really old and fat and out of shape. And I've been living this really sedentary lifestyle for like the last 20 years. And it's taken its toll on me, more than I even knew, I think. I didn't know, because 10,000 steps, I mean, that's like 4.5 miles or whatever, but it shouldn't really be that, difficult, or at least, unless you have serious health issues, I guess, and physical, limitations or whatever. So apparently I do. I don't know, because I'm doing these 10,000 steps, and it's like wiping me out. To the point last night I had to stop and sit down for about 10 minutes. Just to walk. So anyhow, I did the first day, 10,000 steps. That about killed me. So I took a couple days off, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to do a short walk. So I did one for 4,500 steps. Then I took a couple days off, and then I did the next one. I did almost 10,000. It was like 9,500 or whatever. And I felt pretty good on those 2 days. I thought, okay, I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting more, whatever. My body is getting better. And then last night, we're doing the walk. And this is after actually 2 stops. Because we stopped for the fountains, the Bellagio fountains. That's like a however many minute show that is. I think it's only I think it's less than 10 minutes, but whatever. But let's just round it, say around 10 minutes or so. Because also we were waiting for it to start. So that's at least a 10-minute break there. And then got down to Whataburger, which isn't really that far from the Bellagio. It's like, you know, I want to say half a mile, but I bet you it's not even that far. And I had to stop again because, well, one thing is that I had to take stairs, and you know, my knees don't like stairs and everything. So I don't know, but and then I had to stop again for another 10 minutes. So basically, we stopped for at least 20 minutes where I was waiting for the Bellagio fountain. I wasn't sitting. I was leaning against the you know, the railing they have there. But so anyhow, I feel pretty sore today. It's like my knee, my left knee, my ankles, and then I got this whole shoulder thing going, and it's like it just doesn't feel good. So I'm pretty achy. I'm gonna try to resume the walk tomorrow. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. If not, I'll take however much time I need, I guess. But you know, trying to get these walks in, because I think they're interesting, and I'm hoping that it's kind of, you know, should be kind of good for me. I figured, yeah, whatever doesn't kill me will make me stronger. So, Bicycle Mike says, do 5,000 steps to start. Like I said, I did the 4,500, and then a couple days later we did one. It was a little over 9,000. Jupiter Dirty says, how many surgeries makes it hard to walk on cement or hard floors? Oh, many surgeries. It wasn't a question. many surgeries make it hard to walk on cement or hard floors. Yeah, that's why you have to go to maybe a low impact type of thing, like maybe like if you could ride a bike or something. Right? WW says, sorry I fell asleep on you. Don't be sorry. You know, it's already like afternoon where you're at. So gosh. Better take your nap. Buzz Mike, I'm bionic. Stunning B2, you can't start out full bear like that, full bore like that. Jupiter Duty says, Treasure on, you don't have to do it all at once. Well, I'm trying to get them in as soon as I can. Like, it kind of defeats the purpose, I think, if I spread the days out too much, you know. WW says, I understand that, Jupiter Judy. They tell you that you have to walk, but they didn't tell you how much it's going to hurt. Yeah, I guess if it does hurt. Go for massage. Yeah, I was trying to think like last night. I think I mentioned on the live stream. Like I'm like, I don't know if I need a. I had the 3 choices. Like it was like, I don't know if I need acupuncture or a chiropractor or a massage, and then I was like, yeah, maybe all 3. Fancy says, maybe do half in the morning and half in the evening. Yeah, but it's just getting down to the strip because I want to do at least, you know, on the strip. And then it's like, so it's getting there and finding parking and all that it's kind of a hassle. But I mean, it's doable. I mean, that's kind of a good idea, I guess. But break it up. Jupiter Judy, or get a stim unit and use it on muscle, then ice. Yeah. Now you're talking like really time-consuming stuff. I don't do time-consuming stuff. Keith Polite, what are you using or wearing to measure your steps? My Apple iPhone. And that's good enough for me. I'm not going to, go, oh, that's not accurate or whatever. That's what I'm using. That's what I'm using. W says OOFOS recovery sandals, 1121. I have no idea what the hell that means. Jupiter Judy says, oh, you're only 2 hours. You're Central Time Zone. Okay. Jupiter Judy says, can't ride bike due to lower back is screwed together. Well, that's tough, Judy. Yeah, you can't. It's hard to walk. Can't ride the bike. What's left? Maybe swimming? I don't know. Stephanie B2, I hear you, Judy. I have cages and screws. Jupiter Judy, acupuncture is great. Yeah, I've had acupuncture on my back. And this is back in the, what was I doing, late 90s, early 2000s, I guess, maybe? Or maybe the aughts. And my back was really, really out. My back was like, where I could barely move. And I went to this acupuncturist, and I did. I mean, from the very first one, it was like feel an improvement. And so I scheduled like several weekly visits there. I think like 6. It was either 4 or 6. I don't know. Maybe it might have been 4, but whatever it was. It was amazing. Like, I think I went to this guy twice. Because the first time it took away the back pain and I felt better. And then it was like, I think about 3 or 4 later, I threw my back out again or whatever. And so I went to him again and did another like few weeks sessions. And it was really amazing. It really was, it really, really, really did a great job on getting rid of that back pain. And then I really haven't had. I mean, I've had back pain. I mean, where you can just, it's just a strain of the day or being in the truck, stuff like that. But I've never had it since then, like what I was having at that time, where my back was just completely thrown out. I had to just lay down. I couldn't even move. So that acupuncturist did a great job. WW, orthotic insoles, whatever, dude. I don't know anything about orthopedics. Jupiter Judy says 38 screws and back, 2 old school men's small knees, no women's knees when mine were done, over 25 years. Wow. WW says, not noon yet. There are these amazing shoes and sandals made with high-tech foam. I don't like sandals. Fancy, I hate needles. You don't even know they're there. And when they take them out, yeah, because that's what I had. They did the needles, and then they're hooked up to like this machine that kind of like pulsates or whatever. But you don't even know. You don't even look. Just look at the ceiling when they put them in, or you're laying down or whatever. However they were doing it, and it's nothing. It's just all in your head. Because you can barely when you feel it more when they take them out, and it's just the tiniest little thing. It's not anything. Jupiter Judy says swimming when sun and not because of cancer, probably not. Study B2, my arms have been so attacked by needles. They're black and blue right now. Oh boy. Yeah, it's not a fun time. Study B2 says I'm getting hepatitis shots in my arms, insulin in my stomach, and blood from my arms. Wow. Well, hang in there, Stephanie. W says OOFOS shoes are amazing. All right. Rousing endorsement by WW there. 72 is not hepatitis, heparin. Jupiter Duty says, fancy, they are super tiny and I don't look, they tell you how to breathe so you don't feel it. Oh yeah, they are super tiny. They're really super tiny. And like I said, when they did me, I think I was just laying down on my stomach on a it was like a kind of like a massage table or whatever, and I just because they were placing me on my back, so I was laying down, and you're not even looking at them, and it's just they're the tiniest little needles. That is called a stim machine. Oh, well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing that myself. I have to have somebody do that for me. Julie says I have shoe inserts. W helped a lot with my back. Jupiter Julie, I have one on my belt and can wear it anywhere. What, the stim package? I thought you had to put needles in you. W said I had a while when they were drawing blood so often that I had bruises in both arms and it was hard to find the veins. That's what they always say about me. That I have rolling veins. They say. Minus Kevin says no looky, if no like no look. There you go. Mr. Spock says howdy. Oh yeah, howdy. Howdy and prosper for Mr. Spock. Jupiter Judy, Julie, my feet keep changing and insoles are expensive. That's why I've gone ortho feet. 70B2 says, hey, Mr. Spock, I really miss my puff pass. Can't have that in the hospital. Jupiter Duty says, yes, the stem, no needles. It's a sticky pad with a snap connection. Well, mine, what I was talking about, they were using needles. And the needles were hooked up to a machine. I think they had little wires on the end of the needles, right? And it's hooked into this machine. It wasn't something that you snap or whatever. WW says, I've had the needle probes to test my reflexes. Didn't hurt so much as a tingle. Bob LeBlanc is here. Have you tried walking on your hands, kung fu, with a guy who used a wheelchair to get around in my first martial arts PE class? He could stand. He just wasn't too fair to circle and kick him. WW says, I've lost one of my orthotics. They were expensive too. I'm sure that it is in some shoe I don't wear anymore. Probably next to the eye that was in your tree. Thanks, Julie. I really hope to get out tomorrow. Jupiter Duty says, oh, it gave some results, but acupuncture with stem goes deeper in muscle. Well, that's what they did to me. I guess that was on that. Mr. Spock says, I had a pinched nerve in my neck going down my left arm. I went to a spinal decompression clinic. They heat your neck, then hook you up to decompression machine for the neck. What's a decompression machine? Is that like the thing when divers come up from, if they're really far or something? I don't know. They have to decompress. So anyhow, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I can walk again tomorrow, and we'll do. We'll see. Hopefully to see the Mirage volcano. That'll be kind of cool. But for now, I'm just gonna rest up, and then go driving tonight. I kind of thought that I would drive a little bit last night after I was done with the walk, but I really just felt so bad. I just wanted to go home and lay down and rest, or whatever. because it was. So I just figured, even though just sitting in the car, you're not doing anything, but I just felt like I didn't feel like it'd be really kind of safe for me to drive, because I just felt like I needed to go, lay down and watch TV, which is what I did. I came home, cracked open a beer, I finished up watching the Daryl Dixon series on AMC. Well, that's what I've been doing the last few days. I watched all of the. This is all for Walking Dead. I don't know if you're not a Walking Dead fan, you won't know what I'm talking about, I guess. But they did the one, the latest one. So I kind of did it in maybe the wrong order, but it doesn't really matter. So I watched they have season 1, 6 episodes, and they listed as season 1, so that makes you think, well, there's probably is there going to be a season 2 or whatever, but, and it's the ones who live, or they call it, something like that. And that's the story of, Michonne and Rick getting back together and finding each other and all that kind of stuff. So I watched that. That was 6 episodes. So I finished that a couple days ago, I guess, or a few days ago. And then I watched, the Daryl Dixon one. That's only 6 episodes. So I finished that last night. And then I went ahead and now I just started. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched the first few minutes of the, what's it called? Lost City or something like that. That's the one where Negan and Maggie, two unlikely, what would you call it? People that would team up because they hate each other. Especially she hates him. But they've sort of put that aside in order to kill zombies. So anyhow, so I'll be watching now. I guess that's probably 6 episodes or something. And then I have to get caught up on, because I watched The Walking Dead all the way to the end. But I kind of fell off on Fear the Walking Dead. I think like a couple seasons ago or something. So I gotta go back to that and get caught up on that, because I think they're gonna be ending that show pretty soon too. This might be the final season. I don't even know, but so that's your Walking Dead update. You got a Walking Dead update. What I miss over here in the chat? We're talking about your lower back over there. Everybody got that lower back thing going. Fancy says, I would like to play a zombie. That would be fun. I would too. And I don't even have to go to zombie school, because I walk like a zombie just naturally now. Jupiter Judy, Keith, it got rid of my water weight when I was younger. TMI. I missed whatever you guys were talking about, so, because I was yapping. 32, I have scoliosis that's twisting all over the place, but it doesn't hurt. Boy, that doesn't sound good though. Bob LeBlanc, are there Nazi zombies, laughing out loud? I imagine there are. Mr. Spock said, I looked up the machines to see if you can purchase them. They go for $35,000 to $10,000 range. In that price, clinics should be everywhere and inexpensive. I guess you're talking about those stim machines, maybe? I don't know. Because like I said, I missed the part of the chat there. Fancy's 11 out that'd be fun. Yeah, it would be fun. If I was still doing background work, who knows? I might have been called to that. Although they were doing most of their shooting in like Atlanta and stuff. So I would have to move there or go out there. Jupiter Judy says, Steph, a friend had that and had an operation in the 70s. Bob LeBlanc says, do zombies go for certain brain or body types? I don't think so. I don't think they do. I think they just want your brains. That's all they care about is brains. Fancy says no zombies like all brains. Hey, there's Pisces Greeter. Good to see you, Pisces Greeter. Good that I can see you, because I wasn't for a while. Let's see, we got Mr. Spock. I have an inversion table. Oh, what? Oh, because I was asking about that other thing. Is that what you were talking about? The compression thing or whatever? Decompression? Okay. Now I get it. But now he has this Inverian table. They work. It fixed a pinched nerve in my lower back I had for 35 years. Is that the thing where it hangs upside down or something like that? Keith Philippe says, just paired my mom and dad's iPhones with their Apple Watches. So cool. Okay, I didn't mean to jump on you earlier. Because sometimes I was just, sometimes people say, well, those things aren't accurate or whatever. And I just didn't want to go in that, down that rabbit hole, whatever. But yeah, I that's what I use. It's on my iPhone. And according to last night, we did 10,400 and something, I think, steps. Jupiter Judy, I have osteoarthritis. All over joints are going bone on bone, one by one. I think I might have arthritis, maybe, in my hips. WW says rules and maybe it's guidelines? I don't think it's guidelines. For zombies, there can only be one set, laughing out loud. Okay. Minus Kevin, there can be only one. That's a Highlander reference. I think W was mixing genres there or something. W, rats and rabbits. Rats are smarter, but rabbits taste better. And they have probably bigger holes, so it's easier to fall into them. W, Godlons. Okay, well, I don't know what you're talking about now. Whatever you're taking must be kicking in. No, I'm just kidding. Keith Felice says, ultimately, the device doesn't matter. It's the exercise that counts. Good for you. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, okay, I want to do 10,000 steps. Am I really doing 10,000 steps? Is this thing really? Am I doing less? Am I doing more? But I really don't even ask it that, because this is all I got, and this is what I'm going to use. I'm not going to go buy any other little step thing or whatever, step counter thing. This is what I got. This is what I'm going to use. But, we'll see. WW, everybody tries to tell you that their rules are the right ones. Really? Does everybody tries to tell you that, huh? Now, if you're talking about movies and in a particular genre, like a zombie genre, that there's supposed to be these rules, but because maybe one movie every movie has their own little universe. Every movie can do whatever they want, and they're not trying to tell you anything. They're just trying to tell a story. But you can do whatever you want in a movie. You could do whatever you fucking want. There's, each movie or each franchise is a whole separate universe. So they're telling a story from their universe. So their idea of a zombie might be different than some other universe. It's different universes. Jupiter Judy says, it is very, W says, if you move your arm, it might count as a stand. Of course you move your arm. Do you walk without moving your arms? Jupiter Judy says it's very common osteoarthritis as we age. Every doctor asked if I ran, did sports, etc. growing up. Not at school, just in the neighborhood. Pastor Greer says, saw the solar eclipse yesterday afternoon with the solar eclipse glasses with my daughter. It was very neat and cool. Got lucky. Wasn't cloudy here yesterday. Oh, that's pretty neat. So, did everything get all dark where you were at? Like, did it turn from day to night? Like, you know, like, or not, it wasn't that fast, but you know, is it, you know what I mean? Everybody. Nick Rich is here, like number 25. Good day, all you truckers or trucklers, I guess. But thanks for being here. We got 27 watching and 27 thumbs up, so that's kind of cool. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for me, see if we can get to 30 thumbs ups. It does help put us out in the algorithm, so maybe we can get more people in the chat. So like, subscribe, and share. And let's liven this thing up a little bit. Okay, let's see. What do we got going here? WW, somebody tried to tell me last night where I could not buy my underwear. That was probably some sort of hallucination you were having from a combination of the drugs you're taking. So I wouldn't worry about it. Keith Lee says, Evil Dead 2, one of the funniest movies ever made. Yeah, I like the Evil Dead movies. I like the Evil Dead franchise or whatever. People are saying hi. Pisces Greer said, says, had 80% coverage of the solar eclipse, so did not get all dark here. Oh, well, still enjoyed it. Well, yeah, that still is cool. I was wondering. Jupiter Judy said, I had no cartilage in my knees when they put new ones in as my knees had blocked. I know, blah, 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 sick shit. That is why I'm not always on. Wish I could be here always. Well, yeah, you know, just take care of yourself, you know. I mean, you got to take care of yourself. And I was just thinking the same thing last night, like, because my left knee, every time I walk, my left knee gets real sore. Or not sore, but yeah, it's sore. It kind of gets numb and weird. It's like a weird thing. And I remember that in 1991, I guess it was, I was just at work. I just bent down to pick up a piece of mail because I was a mail processor. I was working in automation. And like just one little piece of mail had fallen on the floor, and I picked it. I went down to pick it up, and when I stood back up, my knee, I didn't know what happened, but I just shot this searing pain up my leg, up into my back, and it made me like fall back down to the ground. I fell to the ground, and then I kind of like picked myself up. And then like some supervisors came and like, what's going on? Are you okay? And I go, I don't know, man. I just picked up this piece of mail and all of a sudden I had this big shot of pain go through my leg. And then when I tried to put pressure on it, I couldn't. But it was weird because then I walked around a little bit and then it was okay. But then all of a sudden, a little later on, I was walking and all of a sudden, well, I think what was happening is it was basically a torn meniscus. And I think what was happening is that meniscus was sort of flopping around or something. When it was if it laid in the position it was supposed to be in or whatever, then it was okay. But if it moved and flopped around, then that was when it was like bone on bone and you're hitting a nerve and that would literally, I fell to the floor again. So suffice it to say, I ended up going home and going to the hospital the next morning because it was graveyard tour 1. So I think I just went home and then called Kaiser and made an appointment, or I think I went into their urgent care to be seen right away. And then, of course, they just do kind of an exam. I'm not sure if they did x-rays or not, but they said, yeah, we're going to have to set up an MRI appointment down in Panorama City. And I think that was like a few weeks. It wasn't like right away. So then in the meantime, they just prescribed, I think, extra strength Tylenol and, And I think they gave me some crutches, and they said, just don't walk on that leg, you know. And then, so I went on light duty at work, and then I ended up finally getting that MRI done, and it was like, yeah, that knee was all tore up. So, and then I ended up having to get, it's just arthroscopic surgery on that knee, where they just cleaned it out. It was a double bucket tear. What was supposed to just be like a 20 or 30 minute operation took like hours. I remember I was asleep the whole time, but the doctor came back and said, "Man, you ruined my tea time." You know, he was kind of joking. He goes, "Yeah, it was supposed to just be a simple, 30-minute thing." And he goes, "We were in there for like, I think he said 4 hours working on my knee." That was kind of crazy. But it was like 3 or 4 hours. I don't know, but it was way longer than what he thought it was going to be. And this guy was a good doctor. He'd done like, I think, Kobe Bryant's knee and a bunch of Lakers knees and stuff. Laker players. Well, what year was this? Was Kobe even on the team then? I'm not sure. But I think he mentioned a bunch of Lakers names. Or not just Lakers, but NBA players' names. That he had done the same operation on their knees and stuff like that. So anyhow, now last night this left knee was feeling really weird and like numb, and I was wondering what's going on with the cartilage and the meniscus there. But I was thinking, well, if it was like ground down to nothing or whatever, then I think I would be feeling sharp pains, and in this knee I'm just feeling numbness. So I don't know, but who knows what's going on with it. Fancy, I just had an MRI. W says 40 pounds of fat makes a big difference. It does. It does. It's that extra weight really puts a lot of stress and strain on your bones and everything, you know. So I'd like to lose about 100 pounds, really, actually. Jupiter says, W, build up thighs if you can. Best way to keep it at bay. Bob LeBlanc says, 16th and final launch of a Delta IV heavy rocket. Launch date and time, April 9th. That's today at 12:53 Eastern Daylight Time. PM. So I think it's going to happen in like 1 minute, maybe. Mad Mac here, Slava Ukraini. Slava Ukraini right back at you. Robert Perpone is here. It says, if you never seen Totality, you are missing out. Holy cow, Totality was so freaking cool. Wow, so you got to see it. That's pretty awesome. But you were actually in it. Yeah, that's cool. Jupiter Judy says, Bob, it is in Florida. If so, is it in Florida? If so, I can see it from my house. Jolie says, well, I was in the Totality Zone 2 in Indiana. I had never seen a full eclipse. It was stunning. Wow. Did you guys take video of everything getting dark? WW says, around here they say bulls. Okay, whatever. Jackie Mad Mac. Jupiter Judy, numbness. Ice it when you're done walking. You with the ice, Jupiter Judy. You're always with the ice. Bob LeBlanc says, go for Totality tanning wherever you can. And Jolie has once in a lifetime memories. Bob LeBlanc, first for me too. Jupiter Judy, I'm going outside to see Rocket. Alrighty. Yeah, it's 9:53, so I guess it's going off right now. I mean, it's, so I guess that's, if I'm doing my math right. Is that right? 10, 11, 12, yeah, so, guess it's just going off right now. 30 seconds to launch. Nick Rich says 2044 for the next major eclipse over North America. That's like 20 years, huh? I'm good at math. I will be 83.5. Could happen. It could happen. I'm not counting it out. It could happen. I could be around. WW says all the ortho places brag about their famous clientele. Okay. Jolie says, sorry everyone, in and out of Shaq getting my mom ready for a doctor's appointment. Oh, well, all right. You got to do that. You got to help your mom. So good for you, Jolie. Say hi to your mom for me. From Trucker John. Nick Rich, I'll be 88. But feeling great. Nick Rich, you're going to be 88 and feeling great. I'll be 83.5 and feeling like I need a bath. Probably will. Probably will feel that way. Hey, I'm going to check real quick. Hey, there's Tim Farrell. Tim Farrell. I'm alive, Tim. I'm alive. After that walk last night. Let me see. I'm just going to check the Twitch deal here. And see what's going on. Let's see if it's all working. Looks like it. There's 0 viewers, but it's on there over there on Twitch. So we are on Twitch. I'm just gonna say hi in that little thing there, just in case if anyone goes in there. And then what else? Then there's Facebook. Let's check Facebook real quick. There's Facebook. Probably no one in there either. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Let's see, there it is. Truck John. Right there at Facebook. All right. Actually, over on Facebook, Walter Makarovich was in there. It says, hi, Trucker John. On your walk, just curious, have you walked by where the old Frontier near the Stardust? Just curious what's in their place. The Frontier near the Stardust. I haven't done that on these actual walks yet. We'll be heading down there later, probably in the next couple ones. But I think the Frontier. Well, I think the Stardust is where Resorts World is now, which is kind of just down from Circus. And the Frontier, I think, is just an empty lot still, and they sometimes use it for like events and stuff. I believe, unless that's another one I'm thinking of, if I remember the locations. But maybe as we do the walk, it'll come to me. Oh, what have I done? I don't know what I've done here. What happened to my YouTube? This is weird. Very weird. It said I hit incognito or something. And now I don't even know how I did that. Huh. Weird. Okay, so I turned off incognito, so I can get back to this this page here. All right, we'll be caught up. Looks like I'm caught up. Okay. All right, so Fancy, I followed you on Facebook. Oh, thank you, Fancy. Mad Max says, hope no one's age for next eclipse in 2024 ends in 7 because it rhymes with heaven. Nick says, what's the payload on the Delta 4? Just a test? I have no idea. WW says, in the air 5 minutes. Jolie said, got Mom a Grateful Dead shirt. She looks so groovy. That's cool. Mr. Spock, I think they're sending... Mr. Spock says, I think they're sending more Jewish space lasers into orbit. That's funny. Jupiter Judy, we couldn't see it. Too many clouds. That sucks. Minus Kevin has questions for some reason. I don't know what you're questioning. Let's see. Was that okay? Mad Mac, it's the deep state. TJ. Robert Purple. The parents of the kid that shot people in Michigan just got sentenced 10 to 15 years in prison. Wow, that's a big deal. I mean, because they've really never gone after parents like that. I don't think before, and they went after these ones because these people were assholes. They basically gave the kid a gun, I think, for his birthday or something. And, they didn't really, they're just like, here, go, yeah, they didn't really supervise that at all. So, and some kids ended up dead, I guess, right? He killed a couple kids. So, 10 to 15 years. Whew. I wonder if that's going to get appealed down or what. But anyhow, my gut initial reaction is that they deserve it. So, wow. W exactly blamed each other. Oh, they blamed each other. Jupiter says in Florida the parents are responsible if kid gets gun law. Huh. Well, that might be one reasonable law they have in Florida. W refused to take him home. Nick Rich says just about anybody can be a parent, even the idiots. Yeah, it's whether or not they be good parents or not. And notice I didn't say perfect parents. No one's perfect. We all make mistakes, but you can still be a good parent and just try your best. Jupiter Judy, the only good law. Yeah, well, hopefully Florida will get big turnouts of Democrats, hopefully. They're saying Florida is in play. It's going to be a big November type of deal because of a 6-week ban now they put into effect down there? And there's going to be also, I guess, on the ballot, proposition for legalizing recreational weed. They're hoping that's going to bring a lot of people out. And a lot of those people are usually more Democratic, I guess. Not saying it's all. I'm not saying there's no Republicans that smoke weed. Of course they do. But, it's always thought that when there's bigger turnouts, higher turnouts for voting, that usually benefits the Democrats. So hopefully we can kick Rick Scott out of the Senate with the Democratic challenger there. Is DeSantis up? Is his governorship up on this one? in 2024. But if he is, I can get rid of him too. And in whatever congressional districts we can get, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it, Florida. Show me something, Florida. Dog in Paradise is here. Says maybe this will convince people to at least lock up their guns, not buy their kids guns, and maybe even get them therapy. We can only hope, Doc, that it will convince some people. I mean, and it might convince some people to go in some other direction. I don't know, but I guess that's the hope. You know, that this will send a message to parents who have guns to really supervise those guns and keep them locked up and safe, and you know, and they're not just like some toy to give as a present. You know, it's an incredible responsibility, and you can't give it to someone who is irresponsible or who is, you know, young and still learning things. You need to teach them the right way. You know, if you're going to have guns, you need to teach them the right way of how to handle them. And you would make a rule. Okay, we buy you this gun, but we're going to keep it locked up in our gun safe or in our gun cabinet. You know, and then we'll go shooting at the target range or whatever. But and we'll take it out. But you know, or something like that. But I don't think that went on in that household. I think they just said, "Hey, happy birthday!" And he opens it up. He's got a new 45 for his birthday. And he just takes it to his room, and they never see it again, probably, you know. And then he takes it to school. Can't do that. Can't do that. You shouldn't do that. Jupiter Judy says, we have many more women widows here who will vote blue. These women are older and remember Hitler's crap. Wow. Well, I hope they all show up to vote. Got to show up, folks. Got to show up. I think voting is important. Elections have consequences. You might want to reverse that. Elections have consequences. Voting is important. I guess either way, it doesn't matter what order it is. They're both true. And I encourage everyone to vote. And if you're like that one guy we had in here that said he wasn't going to vote, doesn't vote, and all this kind of stuff, well, okay, well, at least, I mean, I can't make you vote, but I can try to encourage you to vote. Because I do think it's important. I mean, just look how important it was where if we just had a few more people vote for Democrats in certain key areas, we would have had Hillary Clinton as president instead of Trump. So it was really lost in the margins. It was lost in these close races, in these key battleground states. So it just shows how important turnout is. And also, like everywhere, you can't take any area for granted. You can't take any, like these Rust Belt states were supposed to be the big blue wall, and the big blue wall has some big chunks missing out of it now. It's either gone red or purple. So anyhow, make sure you vote. Vote blue if you know what's good for you. If you care about, you know, bodily autonomy, you know, a woman's right to bodily autonomy or to make her own reproductive choices. That's a really big issue. I think it's a really huge issue. So, and I'm a guy. I'm just a dude. So, if that's important to you, then you need to vote blue, because we see what the Republicans want to do. They want to take all that shit away. And for some reason, IVF, for good measure, IVF, which has nothing to do with abortion. But they're just wackos. They just want to control everything, and they want to control women's bodies. So if you care about that issue, you're going to vote blue. And there's many issues we could go down that are much better off if you have Democrats, you know, running things, and because the Democrats will govern, whereas the Republicans will only give the ultra rich tax breaks. That's basically their main function, their main reason for existence. Nicholas says life is safer where there are no guns. And yeah, I mean, they say it's not like a causal thing or whatever, but when you look at the statistics and you see places that have more guns, you see more gun-related deaths. So I think it is a correlation. But I guess technically it's not or whatever. Jupiter Judy says, the thing is today you don't know who has guns and how many. Doc in Paradise DeSantis, he assumed office in 2019. His current term is in 2027. So I guess he's got a couple more years. I guess he'll be up. That for re-election would be the 2026 election, I guess. Jupiter Judy says, we have early voting and we older folks vote early. Good. Take advantage of it. Early voting is a great thing. And I think mail-in voting is even better if you have that. WW, he says he was lying. He votes. But that's not my point. I mean, my point is, like, when someone says like that they don't vote, they have these certain reasons. Okay, well, that's a little bit different than a lot of people that I kind of think of are the people who just don't vote just because even they might register to vote. They might be registered Democrats, let's say, but for whatever reason, they just don't vote. They get caught up in their family life and their work life, and they just sort of completely shut off politics altogether. Now, I understand not everyone can be just follow this stuff and be, really, what is it, wank? What is it? Yeah, wonker? No, wanker? No, not a wanker. Well, whatever it is. But then they'll see something happen and they'll go, how did that happen? Something gets voted on, legislatively or something, and then if it's something that's close to their heart, then all of a sudden they might get involved. But so I guess we need to reach out to folks who maybe they just don't think about it, and maybe just to try to just have them think a little bit about voting, and and it doesn't have to be like all the time. It could be as we get closer and closer to the election. When we're like 2 or 3 months out, then maybe start, if you have friends who just aren't politically involved and who don't vote, maybe it's at that time you should start saying, hey, you know what? Or maybe before that, make sure that they're registered to vote. Maybe bring that up every now and then. Hey, are you registered to vote? And they'll be like, yeah, I guess so. And hey, let's check it out. Let's go to vote.org or whatever. And let's make sure you're up to date and everything. There's just some things to do. We really do need to get everyone out to vote, and we need to vote out these maggots that are all throughout, our legislative bodies. Let's just get them out, man. They're horrible for this country. Like the MGTs or whatever, MTGs. I think she's just MT now, right? Is she still a G? Because she got divorced. She should just be an MT. Because she is empty. She should just be old Marge Taylor. I'm just gonna start calling her Marge Taylor from now on. So if you ever hear me talk about Marge Taylor, I'm talking about MTG. Oh, Margie. Let's see here. W says the economic tax balance is tricky. It's not that tricky. Tax the rich. Kevin Anderson says not hurt anyone. WW says, yeah, it doesn't hurt to vote. WW says, if you have to borrow to pay the taxes on my investments, it is like losing money. Don't you only pay taxes on your investments if you cash them out? Are you cashing out your investments? and just I don't know. You get taxed on. I guess is that taxable income for interest gains? Dr. Perry says, Kevin, uh-oh. I don't know why that did that. Kevin, but you're a good guy, so any are screaming genocide Joe because of Gaza, they promised to not vote or vote RFK or Trump. Well, if they're doing that, if they're if they don't like Biden because of how he's I don't want to say handling Gaza because it's not that's Israel's problem. That's Netanyahu's problem. But we give aid. We give military aid to, or not give it. We sell it to them. They buy it. I thought, but I guess we do give them money too. I don't know. It's complicated. I guess we give them aid that's worth a few $1 billion a year, I think. And we've been doing this for decades and decades, ever since they were in existence. So, and I think Biden has been trying to get Netanyahu to, to operate differently. But these these people screaming genocide Joe, and that they say they're not going to vote or vote RFK or Trump. If they think that getting RFK, who has no chance, or especially Trump, into office is going to somehow benefit their people in Palestine, they're sadly mistaken. Trump is eyeing that place as the seaside property or whatever, oceanfront property. So they can spout that shit all they want, but I have a feeling that a lot of them are still going to vote for Biden because they know in their heart Biden's the better choice. You're going to have two choices. RFK is not even going to be in it, so I mean, if they want to vote for him, they're throwing their votes away. But I think you're going to have more people I think RFK is going to take more votes from Trump than he is from Biden. That's what I think, because the Biden people are all on board with Biden. I mean, there really isn't much reason to fall away. Because I think most independent voters or I call them non-affiliated, if they're not affiliated with the party. Or I guess it could be a third party. But I guess we're talking about people who aren't in any party, right? The unaffiliated. And I think I saw where they do tend to lean more liberal a little bit. So I don't see why those folks would vote for RFK. And I don't really see why they would vote for Trump, most of those folks. But I don't know. Dividends. Yeah, your dividends. So you got to take a loan out to pay the taxes on them? That's kind of crazy. Jupiter Judy says, the worst excuse I hear is I don't bother with that, or I'm not interested in that, meaning voting. And I tell them, if you don't vote, then your tax money has no say. They didn't get civics in school. And I thought that was the times when they still taught civics. But, yeah, see, that's the thing. I guess that's the thing we got to break through that that's sort of just being, what is it? Where you just, you're oblivious. I guess it's oblivious, like living in this obliviousness, being oblivious of voting and how important it is, and really just completely checking out of the whole process. So it is kind of a hard thing, because some people will just tune you out. You know, they don't want to hear it. So I guess, you know, you can only do so much. You don't have to be all preachy or whatever, but just maybe just say, okay, well, I got my voter pamphlet today. I'm going to fill that baby out, or I'm going to look at my voter pamphlet and check out all the things on the ballot, you know. Just plant little seeds, I guess. Jupiter Judy says more men 40 to 50 are the non-voters, ex-military, and they all hang online together, spewing garbage. Huh. Dog in Paradise, young chicken is 4 to 5 years times 350-ish eggs. Thank you very much for that information. Some things you never think about. Egg production per chicken. Nick Rich says women will determine the next election. I think so. I think you done pissed them off, GOP. You done pissed them off. So they will get, you talk about revenge or retribution. Look out, Rovember. WW says, do you clean and cook it for them? Rotisserie chickens are $7.99 at my grocery store. It used to be $5.99. Okay. So they went up a little bit. Mr. Fox says, the tax service was $30. My free-range large chickens are worth $40. I'm losing $10. Laughing out loud. They always do. Nick Rich. W, soccer moms and hockey moms. Dog in Paradise, those deli chickens are tiny. Jupiter Judy, W, Publix, our grocery stores sells fryers as roasters for $12. I buy from Costco for $5 with 3 times the meat. I do like Costco. W says, right now I'm on a turkey thigh kick. They were only $1.99 a pound. Turkey thigh. Wow, this is W. Wow, the market's charged with what is allowed. Mr. Spock, but they're not free-range chickens. Look up the price of free-range, and that's the difference. That is the difference. WW says, Lavanella, I told you, Mr. Spock, we used to get loose chickens in our neighborhood. Dog in Paradise says, Lavanella, Trucker John trying to follow our ramblings. Yeah, I got came in right into the middle of a chicken conversation here. So, Robert Papone had some free-range chickens and guineas till the Bobcats figured out they were here. So the Bobcats feasted, I guess. Sounds like they had a feast. Ichabod Deer is here. Smoked turkey is the best. I know of a place that smokes them for 2 weeks. That is a slow roasting. But Ichabod Deer, so good to see you. Dog in Paradise, chicken as barter for tax services. Remember the one kook whack-a-mole that was running, I think right here in Nevada. I wasn't living here at the time, but I think she was here in Nevada, and she was running for, I don't know if it was Senate or whatever. And she was the one that was just saying we should just go to a barter system where everything is bartered. And then, so they were like, how would that work? And she's like, well, you can just barter like chickens for something. And they're like, well, what if you have to go to a doctor? And like, how many chickens do you have to bring? Like, if you had cancer, like, how many millions of chickens would you know, or whatever. It was just kind of, they just kind of shot her whole thing down in like 2 seconds. Mr. Spock says, last year a free-range chicken half the size at the specialty meat shops were $25. I couldn't believe it. Jupiter Judy says, especially in high-end areas, I live just over the county line in Working Man's Hood, so we go 2 miles to Aldi for deals. Let's see. W says, there used to be Bobcats in Central Illinois. Doc in Paradise, Robert, the bald eagles kept grabbing mine, so I've had to keep them in the run all winter. Those damn eagles. Nick Rich will work for food. Bagnac says, I could never be a farmer. I eat meat, but I could not kill the animal myself. And if that were the case, I would probably starve laughing out loud or eat berries forever. Yeah, or you could eat, you know, you could plant potatoes and carrots and peas and corn, you know. Jupiter Judy, those are the kids who are 18 to 22 before they make life decisions. Minus Kevin Anderson says, Mr. Spock is Vulcan, he knows. WW says, we have eagles along the Rock River too. Mr. Spock says, prices in Canada are also higher there. Robert Proponent, Doc in Paradise, never had an issue with eagles here, but hawks are another story. Yeah, like out here we get a lot of hawks. California, Nevada and stuff. Get a lot of that. I've seen hawks. I've seen them actually, like on the roads, where they'll be up on a telephone pole, and in the middle median. That's why a lot of the hawks get hit by cars or trucks, mainly by big trucks. I've had them. I call them bird strikes. I've seen them where they are just locked in on. They'll see a squirrel or a chipmunk in that middle median of the freeway, and they'll just all of a sudden they make their move. And they're not really paying attention to the traffic that's crossing them, because they're just dead focused in on that thing, and they'll swoop on down. And I've seen them where they make it, you know, they don't get hit, and I've actually seen them like just they'll go down over a squirrel or mainly it's really chipmunks, I think, really super fast, and then all of a sudden they just put their claws straight down. And they kind of just like land right on that chipmunk and get them in their talons. And I've seen them like they'll lift up and you'll see the thing squirming. And then they just fly off and take that back to the nest or something. Chipmunk, fresh meat. But sometimes I've had a few where they've hit my truck because they like I said, they're not really paying attention to cross traffic. They're just looking at that thing that's either it's in the median, or if it's a 2-lane highway, it'd be like on the other side of the highway. They'll see a squirrel or a chipmunk or something, or a mouse even, field mouse or something, and they just go straight across, and then it's like, oh no, and you'll see them, and there's nothing you can do, and they'll either hit the side of the truck or they'll hit the side of the trailer, and once they do that, they're just dead. They break their necks or break their wings and stuff, and so it's pretty sad. Judy says, I have 2 men on my street like that. No news except for military news. I know 2 who aren't even registered. Well, maybe it's better that those types don't register. They don't sound like they'd be voting our way anyhow. Doc in Paradise says, I don't kill my chickens, I just eat the eggs. Nick Rich says, plenty of red-tailed hawks in my city. Yeah, we have some of those out here, too. Mad Max says lots of eagles up here in Northwest. Bears, cougars too. Mr. Spock, I think an eagle grabbed Roadrunner. Something big would have got her. Absolutely no feathers. A ground animal would have a trail of feathers in the direction they go. WW, I know guys like that too. I think that Q is military intelligence. Stars and Stripes is the only media that tells the truth. Oh yeah, I bet. Mr. Spock, and I seen 2 eagles in my big tree around the same time. Ooh, they're conspiring. Gotta watch out for those eagles when they get together in a tree. They're just plotting. They're plotting, man. Let's see. So anyhow, let me get this running. Ooh, I just saw something flying, like a little gnat or something. Ugh. Getting to be that time of year, I guess. Steve Sayer says, how was your hip waking up this morning? Hey, Steve, thanks for being here. My hip feels fine. The thing that hurts the worst is my left knee. And my ankles are sore. It's my ankles and my knee. My hips, though, felt fine. It's like the hip thing is like, once it starts doing that, where it's like that burning pain, basically I have to sit down, and that's what, I got over to Whataburger and I sat down for 10 minutes, and then they were fine after that. So, I don't know what the deal is in that. But the hips feel fine. It's just, I guess it's when I'm walking for a while that starts to flare up or something. Jolie says, Trucker John has channel memberships and super chats. Thanks for reminding everybody. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, or buy me a coffee. Thanks, Jolie, for putting that in there. Yeah, like, subscribe, share. That's a great thing. Get the show out here. We're at 1,680 something subscribers, so that's great. We picked up a few on last night's live stream of the strip, and I am planning on going back out tomorrow night, as long as if I feel good enough. And we'll give it another shot. And I'm just gonna keep doing those walks. Probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think I'll do. I'll try that schedule for a while, and because I really thought I could just do it every day, but maybe not now. But maybe who knows? Maybe in a couple weeks, or maybe in a few weeks, I might be able to do them every day or something. So, but for right now, I'm gonna shoot for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So hopefully I'll feel better enough tomorrow night. We can do another walk on the strip. And I kind of like doing it at night, but I would like to do it a little earlier, maybe. I might have to do it during Liberal Dan's show. WW says, since I tore my retina, I see stuff flying all the time, not even there. Well, I saw something that was there. Mr. Spock, it was the time change. I was 20 minutes late putting them away. Jeff Curry, Trucker John's hips don't lie. They don't lie. They scream like little bitches. Steven Sarah says, my hip had daggers in there. Just got here. Hi, Jolie. Hi, Jolie. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Steve. I'm glad you jumped in. Keith Light says, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a good plan. Thank you. I think so too. Mad Max says, poor Jackie and Shadow FOBBV Eagles. I don't know what that means. Their 3 eggs didn't hatch this year. Oh yeah, Friends of Big Bear. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. See, I forgot. I hadn't watched in a while, so I forgot Jackie and Shadow. Yeah. So their eggs didn't hatch this year. They had a lot of snow to deal with. Yeah, all of a sudden they got some late storms up there. Because they didn't. It seems like the winter was kind of mild. And now they're having these spring snowfalls, some pretty big snowfalls. But yeah, the Friends of Big Bear, whatever V stands for, video. But I thought that, I always thought they should make that V, they should come up with a Y word, because then it'd be Fabi. But anyhow, W says, we get dreaded buffalo gnats sometimes, mild winter, so they will likely be bad this year. Plus Japanese beetle, maybe I should get some chickens, because I guess apparently they would eat the beetles. And then we would have no great music. Jeff Curry, hey Jackie, Bob LeBlanc, lift off A-OK, I'll hang with you, you walk neat scenery. While you walk. So I guess you're talking about on the strip and stuff like that. Yeah, and I also have I do have some plans after the strip, maybe going down to the Arts District. We can walk around down there. And then maybe to Fremont Street. We can check out Fremont Street. And then I was thinking of Red Rock, I guess Canyon they call it. We could do some walks, some trail walking out there after we're done with the strip. Because I don't want to just keep doing the strip over and over and over again. So we'll do those other things. Bob LeBlanc. Oh yeah, that was the A-OK. WW says, we are having a cicada year 2. It will be the year of the insect. No, it's because of the eclipse. That's right. Isn't that what happened? MJ Daniels here, Mad Mac. My mother has been watching that Cam 2. Yeah, I haven't watched it in a while. I remember I was watching it, I think it's been a few weeks probably since I watched it, but I just stumbled upon it on, I guess on YouTube, and I started watching it because I'm from that area. I lived in Big Bear when I was a little kid for a little while, and I'm from down the hill, like on the desert side, Apple Valley, Victorville. We even lived in Lucerne for a little while, which is just down the base of the Highway 18 there, coming down from Big Bear. So I'm familiar with the area, and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh yeah, there's Big Bear. And then, it does a bunch of different shots, and they showed the eagle and everything. So, yeah. Jupiter Judy's got to go. Well, thank you for being here, Jupiter Judy. Please come back and chat with us some more. I hope everything goes well with you, and we'll see you on the next one. I should be here again. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so the only thing I have lined up is to do that walk, and I'm not sure exactly what time I'll be doing it. Because, like I said, it's going to be the Mirage Volcano, and I'd rather do that at nighttime, I think. Although, I don't know if it matters. So maybe it will be about the same time as this one on Monday. We started at about 8 o'clock, I think. So maybe it'll be 8 o'clock my time. I don't know. I know for you East Coasters, that gets kind of late. So it's kind of to be determined. It's kind of TBD, I guess, for Wednesday, but for tomorrow on the walk. But it'll be sometime in the evening, probably. My time. I'm Pacific time zone, just as a reminder. Keith Polite says Red Rock is awesome. Yeah, so I was thinking about doing something. They've got some trails out there, and they have different levels, and I think they've got like beginner trails and like fat old people trails. Maybe we'll see if that's too much for me. But by then, hopefully, I would have enough of these walks in that maybe my conditioning will be up. Maybe my body will be a little stronger. I don't know. Hey, there's Andrea, member for 1 month. Hello all, happy birthday, Jim the Geek. Hey, Jim the Geek. I don't know, is Jim the Geek in here? But happy birthday to Jim. Thanks, Andrea, for coming on by. Thanks for being a member for a month there. That's pretty awesome. Good to see you in the chat there. Let's see, what else we got going? MJ Daniel, we have bird feeders and tons of juncos, chickadees, ducks, and other birds to keep the bugs in check. That's cool. They can eat those bugs. Just hopefully they're not just bird shitting all over the place. Nick Rich, pestilence. Nick Rich. Jupiter Judy. Everyone's saying goodbye to Judy. And yeah, Mad Mac. FOBB, Friends of Big Bear Valley. Yeah, that's what it is. I knew. Yeah, so I remember. Yeah, Friends of Big Bear Valley. And I was thinking, I was trying to think, okay, what could they replace Valley with to get a Y in there, you know, or something? Because Fobby is better than Fob. Because I was thinking, because Friends of Big Bear Yellowstone. No, it's not Yellowstone. Friends of Big Bear. No, there's nothing. So it's got to be a valley because that's what it is, Big Bear Valley. Mr. Stock says Japanese Beatles are a cool band. Big hits like I Want to Hold Your Pokemon and Octopus's Sushi Garden. Mr. Spock. Let's see, we got lots of salutations going on there. Steve Sayre says, what's beeping? Will someone please answer the phone? Oh, was there beeping? I don't hear any beeping. I heard a plane going over. Do you guys hear the plane? You know, if I ever move out of this place, I'm going to have to remember to, when I'm looking at apartments, to be conscientious? Is it conscious? Conscientious? Or aware of the flight paths, because there's a few of them. This isn't the only one. This one here is mainly private jets, I think, go over my... And there's a lot of private jets that come in here. But I think there's also some commercial airlines, too. And then there's another flight path where they come in, because I remember one of those charging stations, you would see them like every 2 minutes coming in from that way. So there's a flight path on the other side, there's a flight path here, and then there's another flight path that comes in from the east, kind of over East Henderson or whatever. And so I'm gonna have to remember if I ever move to really, that should be a deciding factor, because it is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. I mean, I don't know, it's just kind of annoying, you know what I mean? W says don't push or maybe don't push it. I'm a Tinder guy, but I'm also Fukenmean. He's Fukenmean. I don't know what they're pushing, but whatever. W, I fight for what I believe in. All right, Mr. Tough Guy. I don't know what you're talking about. Andrea comes on and all of a sudden you turn into this, where you're starting shit or something. Andrea says, listening and setting up my office. Oh, okay, cool. Sounds like fun. Yeah, we're just sitting here talking about bugs and animals. Today's took an animal and bug turn. We've had those turns before. We've talked a lot extensively about certain animals and certain insects and spiders, which it's close to insect. So you just never know. I tried to keep it on Voting Blue no matter who, but they just insist on talking about cicadas and eagles and chickens. So, the chat has a mind of its own. And what are you going to do? I feel like I need to move over a little bit. Is that better? On the TGL Truckers Run live stream. Yeah. I was trying to design a cap for my merch store. I just put TGL, like a black cap with orange letters. And I don't know if it showed up. These stores are hard for me to figure out. Maybe for you guys that are more tech savvy, it'd be easy. But I'm on these stores trying to design a t-shirt and cap, and I don't even know where it goes to. Andrea, I will leave Trucker John out of respect for you and the chat. Why are you leaving, Andrea? Was there a problem? I wasn't reading all the chat, so I don't know. Maybe I missed something. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, it seems like everything was fine, and then W has to start shit. I guess I don't know. But I don't even know what's going on. I'm not reading the complete chat because I'm talking and looking at chat. So so W, I'll talk about Ukraine if you want. I thought we were avoiding it. Dude, we have already said Slava Ukraini like 5 times. How would that be avoiding it? Kipley says climate change is affecting the hatching cycles of insects. This in turn is messing with birds. Yeah, that's the whole, that's the whole chain, right? Jeff Curry says spiders yuck. My daughter had a pet black widow. You can't make a black widow a pet. I made her keep it in the workshop. She cried when it died. Oh. Mr. Spock says, speaking of chickens, nice chicken legs, Trucker John. Laughing out loud. My ex used to say that to me, bugged the crap out of me. Well, I just think that, I think someone's jealous. No. That was my running stage, where I was more into running at that stage of my life. I had been playing football before, and so that was me. That one picture you're talking about, that's me at 200 pounds. So when I say my playing weight was 225, my playing weight was 225, and that was 25 pounds of muscle, basically. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Because I mean, I was really super strong. I got really super, super strong. And so my legs were probably bigger. I wasn't skipping leg day when I was playing football, that's for sure. But during that time, I was more into running because I was like 30. I was out of football. Well, actually, I played some semi-pro football, but I was never as good because I just wasn't as strong. And you're just practicing. You might get a couple days of practice in a week, and then you play a game on Sunday, and you're not lifting as much. It's not like in college where you've got a weight room at your disposal, and you've got food vouchers so you can go chow down in the cafeteria, and and you can just pack it on. So I did play semi-pro, yeah, around that, but I was much lighter. I wasn't playing so light, and I was weak, and I was getting pushed around, and then my knee, I was recovering off of that meniscus surgery, and I was never really the same after that, even though, they always go, the doctors say, we had, I don't know, Magic Johnson or whoever it was, and he was back on the court in 3 weeks, whatever. So, but, whatever. Still, it just never felt the same to me. And, but yeah, I wasn't, lifting as much as I had been earlier when I was playing football. Andrea, we'll DM you later. Okay, Andrea. Yeah, I didn't see what was going on. I don't know. I missed a part of it, so I hate to see you get chased off because you're welcome here. So to be here. So I don't know what happened. Bob Link says this really happened while veg beef soup being eaten, faux floated to the surface, oriented properly. I thought, oh really? And said, future's optimistic. Oh, the drama. Huh. Mad Max says, those are Harley colors for the TGL ball cap. I would wear the cap. Yeah, and those are also, orange and black seems to follow me because that was our school colors, our high school colors were orange and black. And then Schneider was who I worked with as a company driver and as an independent contractor for how many years? Like 13 or 14 years or something. And their main colors are orange and black. So orange and black seems to kind of follow me around. I like that combination of colors. Mr. Spock, I'm just joking, Georgia. I know. But yeah, the legs were looking a little spindly. Is that the right word? But like I said, I was more in my running phase over, bulking up or whatever. Bubble Blanc says, BRB, taking a hike to the kitchen. So that sounds like a fun hike. W says, no, it's not. It's another unending war. Oh, so W, you're just going to come in here and I guess stir stuff up about unending war. And all that stuff. Well, whatever, man. Look, it's all, no matter what you say, you're not going to change my mind or Rich's or anybody else about this being fucking Vladimir Putin's problem. He's the one that started the shit. They could end the shit right now by turning around and going home. It's not going to be an unending war. Eventually, Putin's going to run out of dudes to send into the meat grinder because, he's losing almost 1,000, averaging like 1,000 troops dead a day. Eventually, I think he's going to run out of people to send into that, and so I don't think it's going to be an unending war. Eventually we're going to get our shit together and we're going to give Ukraine all the ammo they need. And they will repel Russia. And then they will become a part of NATO. And Vladimir Putin will be exiled. I don't know, or something. WW says, for my age and arthritis, the main thing is not avoid activity. I love working outside. Well, that's good. It's good for you. Keep the important thing. Oh, keep moving. Sitting is the new smoking. Yeah, got to get out. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to at least get some walking in and stuff, WW says he is hiring them and he had endless money. I don't know who you're talking about. Bad Mac says Slava Ukraini. I say Slava Ukraini. I support Ukraine. And so put that in your pipe and smoke it. Nick Rich says send bullets, not boots. Boots they got, probably. W, talk to me, Ichabod Deer, not about me. Oh, I skipped that. Ichabod Deer said, W doesn't act like a person his age, laughing out loud. W says, Putin hires professional soldiers. Yeah, he's going to run out of them, too. Ichabod Deer, Putin hires idiots. Yeah, he made his cook the freaking leader of that army or whatever. Of the Wagner group. That was a smart move. Hey, cook, take over this thing over here. Nick Rich, I guess that's a puff. Live long and prosper? Anyhow, Putin's got to go. Slava Ukraini. Two-state solution in Gaza. There. I've put it all into really succinct terms. The sooner Putin's gone, the better. And I back Ukraine. I support them. And they need to defeat Russia. And then we go to the Middle East. We need a two-state solution. We need Netanyahu out of power. Netanyahu needs to go to jail. Putin needs to go to jail. Donald Trump needs to go to jail. And they need to be nowhere near the levers of power. Not a one of them. So we can't do much about Putin or Netanyahu for that matter. But we can have a lot to say about whether or not Trump ever gets in near the levers of power again. And he should not. That's why we need to vote. We all need to make sure we're registered to vote, sign up to vote. Voting matters. Voting has consequences. So let's make sure we're registered to vote and let's go and vote. And I always like to say, vote blue if you know what's good for you. But hey, I know you guys think for yourselves and all that kind of stuff. So, vote who you think is best. But I can tell you that we know that Donald Trump is a fuck up. And we know that Joe Biden has been doing a pretty damn good job. So, I think I would vote for Joe Biden. Keith Police says Guardians of Putin, GOP. There you go. Mr. Spock, send booby trap robot chickens. The Russians will think they're food and laughing my ass off. Yeah, just put booby trap chickens all over the place. WW says, when we start saying crime or Crimea or fight, we just keep fighting. W is voting for Biden. Well, that's the one good thing. That's probably the most logical thing you've said all day, Biden. I called you Biden. W. Keith Police says, supplying Ukraine with our current arms is good for U.S. economy and manufacturing. Yeah, I mean, it's like, that's a result of it. Mad Max says, send orange ass face to Gitmo for life. Mwah. Yeah, Gitmo, Alcatraz. Could put him in Al Capone's old cell, since he seems to like Alphonse Capone so much. Because, that's where Capone went. He went to Alcatraz. And if you take the tour, I think they show the little cell that he was in. Just stick Trump in that fucking cell. And he can be the only one there. So you don't have to worry about, protection. And they could have tours. And people could walk by and go, look at that orange man inside the cell. Let's see. Stephen Sayer says, our vote is the way to get rid of Trump without starting a civil war. So if you didn't use the vote, then you would have to start a civil war to get rid of him. That's heavy, man. That's heavy. WW says that is a play in all sort of mythology. Send animals with fire attached. So what you're saying is it's been done before, apparently. Nick Ridge, vote Dark Brandon. WW, I've never said I wasn't voting for Uncle Joe. I never said that you did say that you weren't voting for Joe. Jackie says, see you guys later. Well, thanks, Jackie. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much. Good to see you in the chat. I got 23 watching, 38 thumbs up. 2 more to 40. 2 more thumbs up, so we get to 40. Let's see. Mad Max says, change the name of Alcatraz to Magatraz and send all maggots there. Yeah, there you go. Magatraz Island. That's a good one, Mad Mac. I like that. Keith Police says, a Trump zoo of the convicted at Alcatraz. Yeah. WW says, there will be no civil war in the U.S. I don't think there will either. We might have some wackos, though, that might do something and they might hurt some people, but like to have a full-out civil war, no. I don't think so. Although there is a movie that I kind of want to watch. It's coming out called, I think it's called Civil War. And I just saw some of the previews, and it, you know, it looks like it's kind of like, because there's this one scene where the guy goes, what kind of American are you? You know, and so it makes me think this is going to be about, they might not use these names, but, you know, sort of like maggots against, you know, reasonable people. I don't know. But it's an actual, like, full-out war going on. But it's just a movie. It's just a movie. Steven Sayre says MAGA is looking for a civil war. They've said it too many times, and putting Trump in jail will give MAGA a reason. I know, but we can't. I don't think we can let that deter us. Don't be deterred from going after Trump for these, you know, these crimes he's committed. And I don't think we should be. I don't think we should let these maggots, you know, intimidate us to the point where we won't put someone in jail who deserves to be in jail. And I believe that Donald Trump deserves to be in jail. Like I said, there's going to be maybe some pockets of maggots here and there that might start some shit or try to start some shit. But I don't think it's going to be like a full-on civil war, you know, like, you know. I think it will, unfortunately, I think some people will get hurt or could get hurt, but I think that it would be, you know, it'll be squelched relatively fast, I think. W says the idea that Ukraine is a partisan issue is part of the problem. The GOP does not want Uncle Joe to have a success. Yeah, and that's the whole Donald Trump not even being in office, but he controls the party. That's pretty weird, and he's affecting. His decisions are affecting people in Ukraine. You know, it's just ridiculous. That's where he has power, is by that, in the influence that he can put on these Republicans, because either they follow him, and if they don't, they get threatened with being primaried. You know, it's just that is the amazing thing, is the power that Donald Trump has. He has the power to influence the Republicans in Congress, who have a slight majority in the House. And so because of that, they can kill everything. Every decent bill that comes up, it goes through the Senate, it gets bipartisan support, and it looks like they have certainly enough votes in the House to pass it. But since they have, you know, Mike Johnson, he's the ultimate cock blocker, bill blocker, or whatever, because he won't even bring it up for a vote, because he knows that it will pass, and like something like the Border Patrol or getting funding to Ukraine. And they don't want that because Trump said no. So they just follow him. And I think that's disgusting. A man who's not even in power or not even in office, holding any office, and he has that much power. And really, it just comes down to, like, Trump doesn't, it's like if you're doing like a jury tampering. You don't have to buy off the entire jury. You only have to basically have one and then a backup. If the first one falls through, you know what I mean? Or maybe 2 or 3 backups. You don't need to buy off the entire 12 jurors. It's kind of like Congress. Like, okay, they've got key positions here, these maggots, like MTG and Mike Johnson or whatever. And that's all it takes. As long as Mike Johnson is kowtowing or, you know, is beholden to Donald Trump, then Trump has a huge amount of power for a dude who's not even in any office, any political office of any standing. He's a civilian. So that's sad. That's sad, and it's disgusting, and it needs to stop. And that's another important reason to vote, because this shit needs to stop. This whole Donald Trump and the maggots and controlling the Congress or whatever, it's got to stop. The man has no he doesn't speak for the American people. He's all about himself, and all he is about enriching himself, and doesn't give a damn about democracy or the United States of America or anything like that. So that is really disgusting that he has so much power just because of Mike Johnson, basically, because he can control Johnson. All Johnson has to do is to say, fuck you. But he won't, because he's a pussy. I don't know what they get on these people, Contraband or whatever, and they're so afraid of it getting out, I guess. But they're pretty just disgusting. So we need to get these disgusting louses out of Congress. W says Mikey Johnson would allow the vote, but it would mean his job and political reputation as a party man. Well, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you got to fall on the sword, man. You got to take one for the team or whatever. You got to take one for democracy and not just think about your political career. Jeff Curry says Trump to jail. His maggots will loot every liquor store in the country to steal Bud Light. Yeah, there'll be a big Bud Light shortage. But fortunately, I drink Modelo or Guinness or Heineken. WW says Mikey wants to allow the vote, especially if it requires repayment. You talking about aid to Ukraine? Yeah, most of that stuff is Lend-Lease, so it's already involving repayment. Steve Sayre says totally TJ. W says laughing out loud Jeff. Keith Polite, Mike Johnson is seriously dangerous. Yeah, he's dangerous because of his devotion to Trump. Mr. Spock says, what the world needs is an outside threat to unify Earth. Ronald Reagan said this in 2 different speeches. He was referring to space aliens. Oh boy. Mad Max says, it is mind-blowing that Trump is not even in the government, yet he controls all the mindless twits that have their heads up his ass. What a bunch of idiots. Yeah, it's just like, was it Steve or whoever was saying that, they, or maybe it was W, that how they're afraid, they're going to lose their political career over it. But like I said, man, at some point you got to say what's more important. I mean, democracy as a whole, or your political career. So, W says, doesn't France owe the equivalent of its soul from Lend-Lease? I don't know, W. I don't know. W, Mike could be VP. Yeah, because he's even more of a sycophant than Pence was, I guess. Think about Deer says, I just got an email. Ford is trying to sell new 2023 Mach-E's for $39K. Look at their W. A 2023 Mach-E for $39K. I'm sure that's the bottom line one, with the least amount of motors, I guess. Or W says he is obviously not the martyr type. Mad Max says Trump must have dirt. Oh yeah, and all those Republicans to have them do whatever he says. He totally has been dissing Lindsey, yet Graham just keeps defending Trump. Yeah, I think he probably has something on Lindsey and probably a few of them, but then the other ones it might just be like W was saying that they fear being primaried or something if they don't walk in lockstep with whatever Trump wants, and that would be probably the end of your political career. Ichabod Deer says Reagan believed in astrology. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. He believed in all that kind of stuff. WW says the countries around Russia are less afraid of Russia. How do you know that? What are you basing that on? You're just pulling shit out of your ass now. WW says, Ichabod Deer, I looked at one. Oh, too many problems. Still, they were supposed to be ironed out by 2025. Now they are saying 2027. They just keep moving the goalposts, don't they? Mr. Spock says Lindsay likes them real young, probably. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Ichabod Deer, my friend bought a new 2024 Model S. He got the Elmo as an idiot discount. The car is cheaper now than it was in 2018. Well, I haven't priced them lately, but yeah, I know there's some of the prices have been coming down. And a Model S would be nice. That would be nice, I think, to have. Keith Petit says Mike Johnson is also a scary religious extremist. Yeah, he is. He is. Hoot Johnson, House Parks pre-show. Hey, Hoot Johnson, thanks for being here. Well, this show is the Tuesday morning show. I'm not doing a separate pre-show today, but I'll do that tomorrow at 3 p.m. I mean, not tomorrow, on Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Today is just the one-time show, and I'll probably be going off here. We're at over 2 hour mark here, so we'll probably be shutting this down pretty soon. But hey, Hoot Johnson, thanks for being here. We got 19 watching, 44 thumbs ups. Make sure you guys hit that share button for me. I have, YouTube does give me a weekly report on like the analytics and stuff. And I do see that you guys are sharing the show, so I appreciate that. There's a lot of shares going out. And I think that helps grow the show. We're up at 1,680 something subscribers. And it helps when you guys give me a thumbs up, or you're commenting in the chat room, or you send out a share and you share the show out. It really helps. So we keep growing and growing. It just wasn't very long ago. I mean, just last year, probably like a year ago at this time, I think we only had what, 300 or 400 subscribers, and now we're at 1,680. So thank you guys so much. It's like, just being on here, it helps get the show out. And the share button, I've noticed you guys, a lot of people share, so I appreciate that. I really, really do. W says, I have my name on the list for the first S Plaid without blemish that has not already been sold before arrival. Okay. Ichabod Deer said 400 mile range on my friend's new Model S. That's pretty nice. I wouldn't mind getting an S and using it for Uber. I was thinking about getting a Y because I like the Y. They're cheaper. And you can get pretty good, the range supposedly is over 300, right? Depending on which, because they have a standard, they have long range, and they have performance ones. And so depending on which one you get, anywhere from, I think, 313 to 360 something or something? But the Model S would be cool, too, I think. Mad Max says, I like those F-50 Lightnings, but I'm not sure of their strength or durability. I like having locked storage in the bonnet, where the motor usually is in petrol trucks. It just goes to show that, this is like emerging technology. This is new stuff. EVs are still relatively new. We're still really in a sort of an infancy stage. Infancy stage, I guess, or maybe we're in the toddler age. I'm not really sure, but we're still early in the development of this, and so things like the F-150, the Mach-E, something like that, they are gonna get better. So maybe Wes is right in waiting and getting some of the bugs worked out in some of these cars, but they're pretty good as it is now. I think, especially I think the Teslas are pretty good, and they have a little bit of a head start on everyone. Because I've been driving these Model 3s, like I said, for over a year, and I love them, and I haven't had any problems with them, to speak of, and they just drive nice, and I really love the car. So eventually, though, yeah, Chevy and Ford and, all these other manufacturers, they're going to have their EVs, and they're going to be putting them out, and there's going to be some problems and issues, but it's going to improve, and so the range is going to get better, and the battery degradation or whatever is going to be less, and there's going to be more charging stations, and there's going to be more, and we're going to have more. I think in the power grid, we're going to have more and more, renewable energy power sources for our power grids. More and more solar and wind and wave and all that stuff. So, because people say, well, how is the grid going to handle all this charging? But I think we're getting more and more, renewable sources in there for the power grid. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's over the next 5 to 10 years, it's just going to keep improving and improving and improving the technology and everything, and working those bugs out, so that in 5 to 10 years from now, you won't even probably have the problems we're having now. Maybe a whole set of different problems, but I think the cars will really be well on their way to being established, and people getting in them and seeing how reliable they are, and trusting the vehicles better. So, but yeah, we've got a ways to go as far as technology, but not too far. I mean, like saying the next 5 to 10 years, it's just going to be improving after improvement after improvement after improvement, and it's going to be getting better and better. WW says, my garage is too small for an F-150. That's probably down the street. Ichabod Deer, I would rather have the range than the power. Yeah, the range is really good. I think if you're getting 400 miles, that's pretty good. I mean, that's about where you're getting on some of the best gas vehicles, as far as fuel mileage. But when I say best, W says, ID, that I must have both. Steve says, does anyone have a Cybertruck? I don't, but I actually would like to drive one, and I don't think they have them available because there's 2 Tesla showrooms here in Vegas. They're both on Sahara Avenue. One's on the west end and one's on the east end. And I've driven by there, but I haven't really looked inside their little showroom. I don't think they have any Cybertrucks though. But I should go in. I would like to test drive one. That would be awesome. And if I could buy one, I would like to buy one, and I would like to do Uber in it. I think that'd be pretty cool. Who Johnson says the Cybertruck is ugly as hell, but I don't know. I'm kind of warming up to him a little bit. Who Johnson looks like a fridge on wheels. Your fridge is running. I would like to, if I got one, I would like to wrap it, because I don't really like the stainless steel. I don't like that. I've seen some on videos. I've seen some black wraps. And then around town here in Vegas, there's one that has a wrap, but it's sort of like, I was kind of far away from it, so I couldn't really see, but it looked like it was some sort of advertisements for a business or something. But I think because wrapping's not cheap either. I mean, you got to spend, probably on a truck like that, you might be spending $4 or $5 grand to wrap it, or at least 2 or 3. But yeah, I would like to wrap it in something, probably black or something. I've seen the black ones; they look really cool. When they wrap it in black, and then they've got everything's black on black. You got a dark tint, you got the black wrap, you got the big gnarly tires with black rims. They look pretty sharp, I think. But I would definitely like to drive one. Check it out. WW says some of the wraps on the Cybertruck are very cool. Optical illusions. Yeah, they had some that try to make I guess it could make it look like a conventional F-150 or a Silverado. But those, I wouldn't get that. I would just get I think black. Ichabod Deer says, yes, Tesla does the wrapping themselves as an option. Oh yeah, that's right. They did introduce that wrap that's relatively new. I think in the last few months, where you can do wrapping. So you could do a Tesla wrap, or you can do your an aftermarket wrap, which probably might have more choices. Maybe, I don't know, because I think Tesla usually limits the choices, the color choices and stuff. Steve Sayers says Plowboy in the city, KCM. Oh, hey, that's right. Stephen Sayers, Kansas City, Missouri, representing. WW says there is a Cybertruck wrap that makes it look like an F-150. I just said that. All trucks are ugly to me. I don't agree there. I love pickup trucks. Keith Fleet says, saw a Tesla with a cool matte finish yesterday. Was that a wrap? Yeah, more than likely. Or I mean, they could have had it painted, I guess, at a paint shop, but it didn't come from Tesla that way. Probably, I don't think they have any matte finishes from Tesla. So that would be either it could have been a paint job, or it could have been a wrap. A lot of them are wrapped. If you see a Tesla probably that's not in one of their standard colors, it's probably a wrap. Probably a wrap, but not necessarily. It could be a paint job, but more than likely a wrap. A lot of times they just wrap them because it protects the original coat. It helps to protect it, and then you can take the wrap off and change it or whatever. So to whatever, if you want to change it, you can change the look if you have that money. I mean, every time you do it, it's going to be a few grand. Ichabod Deer says the new Hummer EV uses twice the energy per mile of the Tesla Cybertruck. Yeah, that new Hummer, it kind of looks cool and everything, but it is kind of I think a real kind of, I don't know if you call it wasteful, but it's a kind of an energy hog, I think. You used to have gas hogs, and I think you'd have an energy hog there. Jeff Curry says, a guy bought a Tesla to the show, getaway driver. It was a good idea that chase cars could figure out where he was because couldn't hear him. Or they couldn't figure out where he was. I've never heard of that show, The Getaway Driver. Sounds interesting. Ichabod Deer says, but Chevy has its Silverado EV coming out with 420-mile range, not including towing. Yeah, that's, I know, we were talking about that on past shows, and that sounds very interesting. And you're going to watch out for the claims. Like when they say 420 miles, that might be the EPA rating, and it's, the way they test them, it's very not real world, because you might get that truck and out in the real world, or the way you drive, the way people drive, they might only get 350 miles or 330 miles of range or 380 miles or whatever. But whatever it is, it'll probably be way down from that 420. Mad Max says, I will buy anything other than Tesla because I don't want my money going to Elmo. I get it. So he can further promote being a racist troll, maggot monster. I am conflicted about that, actually. I mean, because, yeah, I don't really like Elmo anymore either. I used to kind of stick up for the guy, but he's gone too far. But I love his vehicles, and it's a shame because that we have to be put in this position, right? Because really, I think they are the best vehicles out there for EVs, at least right now. Like I said, in 5 to 10 years, it might be, they might be a lot of really good ones. But right now, Tesla, I think, is still head and shoulders above everybody else. But yeah, it's a shame that what Musk has done to really sully his name, and by extension, the Tesla. So it's a shame, because it's a great car, it's a great product, but it is turning some people away from buying his vehicles. So it's a good reason for maybe the board of directors to do a hostile takeover or something. Try to restore their good name, because a lot of people don't like Tesla just because of Musk. But there are a lot of people that like Tesla because of Musk too. So, where is it in the balance of things? Once it becomes a really detrimental thing, where it really outweighs where the bad outweighs the good or whatever by a lot, and he's really starts sinking the company, then you might see some sort of attempts at hostile takeover to get him off of the CEO, part of the business. Let's see here. Ichabod Deer, WW for years now, it's huge, over $100,000. Oh yeah, for the Hummer, I guess. Yeah, it's very expensive. Mad Max says, yeah, but not from me. W, I have a tow-ready package on my Mariner. I've never towed a damn thing, but I could. Mad Max Hummers always have been hogs. Yeah, that's right. They were gas hogs. They get like 8 miles a gallon or something, and now they're like electric hogs. WW says, you are not going to make him any poorer. He is already shooting his cash into outer space. Yeah, whatever, talking about Musk, he doesn't give a shit about his rotation. Obviously, because he says some really weird shit and does weird shit. WW says he could have them all snuffed and they couldn't pin it on him. Okay, whatever. Ichabod Deer says the Model S, X, Y, and 3. Or it could be an E. Some people, I've had one guy call it an E because he goes, that's supposed to be E. Because he was spelling out sexy with his cars, the model names of his cars. But it says Cybertruck are the most efficient EV considering the battery size. It's because of the electric motors Tesla makes in-house and their regen software. Yeah, the regen's a big deal. I always use regen, always. And it does extend you out a little bit. So it's good. It extends your range out. Mad Max says, I hate that stupid looking iPad stuck in the front of the dash. It looks like it is an afterthought. Why couldn't they incorporate a screen that is part of the dash instead of just stuck in front of it? I don't know. That's a good question. I think the idea was to put a really big screen there, and maybe this is a Gen X thing or whatever. But everyone, when you're parked, like if say you're getting you're charging up and you're parked. You can, and if you have Wi-Fi or whatever, or they have a service you can buy, a monthly service, then you can, while you're waiting, you can go on Hulu or Netflix, and you can watch movies, or you can play maybe games on it. So I guess that was his appeal, one of his, to the Gen Xers or the Gen Y or whatever, or millennials, to have this big screen in there so they can play video games or watch Netflix when they're charging. But the thing is, it only takes, depending on how much you want to charge, you might only be there for 10 minutes. So you're not going to watch a movie. And even if you do a full charge, it's usually only like a half an hour. So you're not going to watch a whole movie. And believe me, if you're playing a video game, you can, the time will go really fast. But anyhow, so I think he does it for that. So for people to have this kind of selling point to these younger generations about, playing games in the car, basically. That's what I think it was sort of. Keith Police says charging station construction is about to surge forward this summer. No pun intended. People always say no pun intended, but I think the pun a lot of times is intended. But that's good. They're gonna they need to make more, because as many as they have, and they have tens of thousands of them all across the country. I know a while back they kind of celebrated their 50,000th supercharger, but that was like for the whole world. But I'm sure the overwhelming majority of them are probably in North America. But since all these other manufacturers want to go and use the Tesla charging system, they're going to have to really quadruple the amount, probably, or even more, maybe 10x the amount that they have. So, but yeah, they're going to be putting those stations in all over the place, and they're going to make them, and that's so that Ford and Chevy and Rivian and whatever can use them too. Ichabod Deer says cheapest place to charge is at home. Absolutely. If you can get a home charger, and if your home is wired to do that, then that is the best way to do it. Just charge it up overnight when you're sleeping. Keith Lee says charging stations are the vaccine for EV range anxiety. Yeah, if you know that no matter where you go, there's a nearby charging station, that helps out a lot with that range anxiety, for sure. Jeff Tree says, back in my day, all we needed in a car was a speedometer and a gas gauge, no computer screens, and a good sound system. Every car I ever got, I put in a sound system, because I had to have my tunes. With a good cassette player. Mad Max says, Boomer cars have muscle style and performance. Gen X cars have a motor from a pencil sharpener and bland colors like white, gray, and black. Boring as fuck, man. Well, I don't know. There's a big group. That's what the whole like Fast and Furious thing, and that's all like millennials onward, right? Probably, and they can get in their cars as far as like the tuners, and they do put the wraps or big paint jobs on them, and there is that group of folks that are into that. Mad Max says, I think Rivians are cool looking, but I've never looked inside. I think they're cool looking too. I've seen videos where they've done YouTube videos, and I've seen the insides from that way. I've never sat in one or drove one. But the only thing I don't like, and it's almost like a deal breaker with me, is the front headlights. I don't like how they have these two headlights on each side, and they're like vertical. So you got these two headlights on one on top of the other, and they're like like that. And I really think it would make 100% difference if all they did was just make them horizontal instead of vertical. I think that would be 100% improvement. But they probably will never do that, because now that's sort of like their look. That's their sort of iconic, I guess you could say iconic look, or their trademark look now, is that stupid vertical headlight. I think it looks dorky. But if you just went like that with them, made them horizontal, I think that would look awesome. It would look more sexy and sleek. But the way with the vertical, it makes it look kind of like dorky, like, you know? So I wish they would change that, but I don't know if they ever will now, because that's sort of the look. But when you see that, you know it's a Rivian, you know? Keith Police says, I rented a Tesla Model 3 and loved it. Oh, good. It's cool you were able to drive one, like on a little bit extended basis, more than just, like if you went to the Tesla, you can schedule a test drive at a Tesla showroom, if there's one near you, and that's what I did. I test drove a Model Y, and I think you get like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, something like that, to go out. And that was cool. I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciated it. It gave me a good look at the car. But if you can rent one and have it maybe for a day or two or three or whatever, you can really, really get to know that vehicle. Steve Sayre says, a friend driving a rented EV ran out of juice in the mountains, cold temps, and couldn't find a charging station, was stranded for days. Yeah, you really got to, that's one thing you got to think about. Like if you rent an EV, and especially if it's not a Tesla, because I'm telling you, there's more Tesla superchargers than there are any other types. But yeah, it's something you got to think about, like ahead of time. You got to think ahead, you know. WW says, I told them I'd buy the first low miles used Mach E if my Mariner can't be easily repaired. Mad Max says, they keep bugging me to install free solar panels and free Tesla wall, the charging unit, I guess. But I think there has to be a catch in that deal. Yeah, everything's free. Yeah. What's the catch? Hey, Julie says, gotta go. Chicken, gotta go. You'll probably be done by the time I get back. All right, Julie, thank you so much. And I am going to put an end to this anyhow, 2:23. We've got a little over. So thanks, Jolie, for being here. Thanks for all you do. I know you got a lot on your plate lately and everything, and you're still here, so I appreciate it. W says, mechanic probably says that he can keep the Mariner running forever. W, he's as old as I am. How much longer will he still be working? I don't know. Well, if you find something you love to do, then it's not working. Maybe he loves being a mechanic. Keith Lee says Tesla's info panel has a live interactive map of charging stations. Yeah, it's right there on your navigation too. Like, you just push the little lightning bolt symbol, and it'll give you all of them. WW says they get money from the government, and if you apply, so might you. Who might get money from the government? Mad Mac, I used to do a lot of driving too. Two major upgrades were always tunes and headlights. Always had to have Hella or Cibi quartz halogen headlights and a good stereo system. Let's see. Jolie says thanks. Oh no, thank you, Jolie. Thank you. Steve Sayre says thanks, TJ. Appreciate you. W, he's a singer musician. All right, guys. So I gotta call this. We gotta call it. But I want to thank you guys all for being here, man. It's just helping me feel a little bit better. And but like I said, hopefully tomorrow night, to be determined the exact time. But hopefully you guys will, if you want to take another walk on the Strip, we'll be going from Flamingo Avenue, probably down to Sands Avenue. So that means we're going to see the Flamingo and Harrah's, Casino Royale, and the Venetian, and Palazzo. And then we're going to cross the street and we're going to see Treasure Island and the Mirage. Hopefully we can see the volcano. I think if I time that right, because I think that goes off every hour on the hour. It's a little different. The Bellagio fountains from, I think, somewhere in the afternoon until midnight, they go like every 15 minutes. So it's easier to catch one. So we'll have to time that right for that Mirage. Maybe about then. I should bring my my chair with me. This chair here, I can just fold it right up. Anyhow, but yeah, we'll see the Mirage volcano, and that's its days are numbered on that. It's going to be someday. I don't know when, but eventually that's going to get shut down because they're going to build a new motel there. So that's why I really want to see I want to go and get that on live stream, which is basically video, because I can, I save the video, but I can save it and have that Mirage volcano. And then from there, go over to Caesar's Palace. We're not going to really go in Caesar's Palace. I'm going to stay on the Strip. Like I said, I'm not really going into these casinos too much for a variety of reasons. But maybe someday we'll do just a Caesar's Palace video or something like that. But the thing is, some of those casinos, they don't allow you to video or do live streams. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them, they say you have to get prior permission or whatever. So I don't know, I'll have to find out each one, I guess. And also sometimes the signal gets lost in there, or it gets, buffering and stuff. So it's better to kind of stay out on the Strip, I guess. But we'll see how that goes. So that'll be tomorrow night. That'll be tomorrow's walk. And I think I'll do that one in the evening. And then after that, the rest of them might be more in the afternoon, just because it's easier for me, schedule-wise, to do it in the afternoon. Doing them at night, it kind of interferes with my Uber driving and stuff like that. So, but for tomorrow night, I think I do want to do a night one. And anyhow, that's it. So guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me. I always appreciate it. And so I'm going to go ahead and go over here. And I'm also going to probably do some stretching. Because, I don't want to pull a hammy. That's the one thing I haven't done yet. Knock on wood.